July 21st at around 11 o'clock in the morning, and we are ready to float down the Etowah. Right there is Doug with his canoe. There we got Charlie. And we had some serious weather last night, so let's take a look at the river and see how it's floating. So as you can see here, this is the intake point. And it is going down fast. Normally this is pretty clear water, you can see in the water, but today it's all muddy and floating like crazy, so it should be a fun trip. So here we are, floating down the Etowah. There's Charlie in front of us with his dog Penny, and here we are. Just found two canoers who are on the side of the on the banks of the river, one on each side. They lost their canoes and their paddles, and we just found their canoes stuck behind a tree on the left hand side here. So Doug and Charlie left the paddle for them, so now they have to find their canoes and probably just float downstream with the current. But yeah, it's floating quite rapidly. Alright, so we're about halfway done on the Etowah, I would say. There's a little creek that comes out of into the Etowah. It's Shoals Creek. So we attempted to go upstream, which normally is okay because there's not much current, but because of the heavy rains last night, it's flowing pretty rapidly, and with this little kayak that I have, it's almost impossible. So Charlie is behind me with Penny, and Doug is trying to make it upstream. There's a little sandbank halfway up, and it's always nice to kind of hang out there, but I'm pretty sure it's not there today because of the high water. But other than that, it's a great float. I don't know how many miles it is, 10 miles, 12 miles total, but there's a lot of history here. Initially, Dawsonville Forest was a test center for US Air Force, something like that. They were trying to, in the 1950s, to create a plane that could fly on nuclear fuel, a nuclear reactor. And that was tested over here. So there's still several bunkers and buildings that are currently overgrown. There's several buildings that are off limits still because of the radioactivity. But when you float down the Etowah, you can still see kind of where the remnants of like the intake station for the cooling of the reactor. It's still there. There's a couple bridges, all basically overgrown. Everything is overgrown. The forest and nature really took over, but it's pretty interesting. So again, there's no official tour, but there's some videos online that you can check out about the nuclear reactor experiment, I guess. Georgia's Area 51 that took place here, I think, in the 1950s. Then I think after that, the city of Atlanta bought the whole area. I think the initial plan was to put an airport there, basically as a replacement or addition to Hartsfield-Jackson, but the topography apparently wasn't all that. So right now it's just a forest with lots of trails for hiking and horseback riding, canoeing like we're doing right now. And there's a couple off-road trails, but it's all gravel, nothing major. But this is a different type of off-roading. You see things that you normally don't see when you're in your car or when you're hiking. It's really overgrown, and it's just gorgeous, very quiet, as you can tell. So, enjoying the trip so far. There we have Doug. I'm sorry, man, I gave up halfway. I just couldn't do it in this little kayak.
I hear you. I made it up to that just beyond that rock wall, and it's a lot of current.
Yeah. All right. I'll follow you.
All right.
All right. So there you can see part of an old, probably railroad bridge. It's all overgrown. Again, part of the whole Dawsonville forest history. As you can see, not much left. Hopefully it will not cave in. Big fun. In a canoe it's a little bit easier than in this little kayak. It's very unstable. So, but we haven't tipped yet. But we got some sections coming up that are a little bit more challenging, so we'll see. Alright, so here we're at a place where there's a waterfall. So let's see if we can check that out. Is Charlie scouting out the river ahead of us, or?
Me and Penny.
All right.
I bet this waterfall is kicking up here.
All right. Let's see if we can get out. Well, I think I can hear it already from here, so.
This water is cold.
Is it? All right.
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah, it is. All right. So where you see dog floating around there, that's the Amacalola joining the Etowah River. That's the Amacalola. No, it's probably hard to tell, but really started to flow now. A lot of debris in the water, floating downstream, sticks and branches and what have you. Luckily, not a lot of garbage. That's good. I did pick up a mellow yellow bottle and a styrofoam cup here, but not much else in the water, which is good. Whoa! Spinning around. That's where we came from. Pretty section over here. Rock. Since the Makalola joined the Etowah, the current is quite a bit stronger. Let's see. Make sure I don't capsize here. We made it. Alright, so we're at Kelly's Creek. We made it. This is a different type of off-roading, I guess. So highly recommend it. It took us about 2.5 hours, which was really quick. Our pace was about 4 miles an hour, so because of the strong current. But here we are. We're gonna throw everything in the Land Cruiser, head upstream and pick up the other vehicles, and call it a day. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.